Welcome to New Age Marketing, where we learn how to take our businesses to the next level by getting ahead in marketing. Super excited. This is episode number 1, and I'm your host, Haley Hall. So welcome to the first episode. I'm super excited, and I'm definitely going to be turning this into a podcast. I'm trying to mic myself to my other camera, and I'm going to see if it records better than phone audio. So welcome everybody. Hello Colton. Hello Kristen. Hello Aiden. Welcome to the show. So we're going to start off by every show I'm going to be giving a marketing tip. Now today's tip is going to be from me, but in the future, I'm going to take other business owners who are doing really well in their marketing and also other marketers, and I'm going to feature their tips on the show. So my tip for today is it's kind of in relation to my video that I put out last week, is with Snapchat and Instagram custom stickers, you can actually take a picture of your logo, your business's logo, and brand each story or each snap to have your logo. So on Snapchat, this works a little bit better because you can save the sticker, so you only have to take the picture once. On Instagram, a little bit tougher. You would have to actually take the picture every single time that you would want to use the sticker. But it's very useful because when you're using Snapchat Maps, when you're using those, it doesn't actually link to your profile. It doesn't even show who you are. So if you have your logo on there, it's very beneficial for you to actually get discovered. And same with Instagram hashtag stories and Instagram location stories. Same deal. If you have your logo on there with that custom sticker, then it's easier for you to get discovered. So that's our marketing tip for today. So I guess I'm going to go ahead and jump right into our discussion. So when I was 18, whenever I was in college, I landed, at the time, my dream job for a college student at H&R Block. I was a tax professional and I was actually preparing people's taxes. So I loved this job and I loved it for a couple of reasons. First off, I was 18 or 19 and I felt like the smartest person on earth when, there's people older than me coming in and wanting advice from me. I was the go-to person. These people trusted me with their finances and these professional forms, and it really made me feel mature, I guess, and it made me feel really important. And I started out, I had my own cubicle, which I was pumped about the first year, and then I moved on, and I had my second year, I actually moved to a different office, and I had my own office. I had this huge office, the size of my living room at the time, so it was really cool. The thing about it and how H&R Block worked and being a tax professional was the more clients you get, the more money you got, because we worked off commission. So I would get walk-in clients. Since I was very new, no one knew who I was. I had never had past clients, so walk-in clients was my only source of income. Or if a new client called, or a client that no one had ever had before, so a new client that had never been to that office, then I would be in the rotation to get them into my office so that I could do their taxes. So that's how it worked, and the problem is that was the only way I was getting in clients. And I was 18 or 19 years old, and I didn't know as much about marketing that I wish I would have. And what I knew that I had to do was get the word out that they needed to come into my office, that I was the person to go to. So what I did is, I posted my business cards everywhere. I stapled my business card to coupons and put them around the town. I did get on social media. I knew that would probably be the best place to market myself. So what I did was I posted to Instagram. I posted pictures of myself on Instagram working. I got on Facebook and I posted to Facebook and said, hey, everybody, come in, come get your taxes done and stuff. The kind of stuff that I said was, where do you have your W-2 yet? Come get your taxes done. And that was a mistake. I was posting such a broad advertisement, and I was just like so salesy with it, like salesy, come to get your taxes done from me, that it wasn't really grabbing anyone's attention. And that was the issue. If I could go back now, what I would do, well, first off, I would definitely be putting out blog content, or I would probably be becoming the tax expert online, and I'd blog content. At that time, it would be blog, but blog or video content talking about the tax forms, talking about how to get more deductions. That's what I would be doing. But a step back, what the copy I would have written on my social media posts would have been more specific. And what I mean by this is, other than whenever you get a client into your office, this is kind of more on how the actual client system worked there. The goal was to get them as a recurring client. You want that client to come back to you the next year, so that it's not just walk-ins that you're getting. You're getting reoccurring clients. You're getting this person or family wants to keep coming and seeing you because of the experience they had or whatnot. So the key that I should have done was target the people that I knew would be recurring clients. Now, I didn't really learn much about recurring clients until my second year, because you can't really have recurring clients your first year. But what I learned was, and I even paid attention at the time, was a certain type of person or certain types of families were more likely to absolutely demand me that next year whenever they walked into my office and had the whole experience of getting their taxes done with me. Now, I even on the off time would write down, oh, this person in this demographic, one of them being new parents and new families with new children that are getting this huge credit, tax credit that you get, or possibly, depending on your tax bracket, you get a tax break. They were more likely to enjoy the experience with me than some maybe older couples that were retired and didn't really care as much. So what I should have done, and what I learned from this now in the future, and I look back, is I should have specifically targeted them with my social media posts. Now, what I should have done was post something instead of, here's my W-2, or did you get your W-2 yet? Please come in and do your taxes. I should have been like, I know that you want to spend as much time with your baby as possible, but all you can worry about is who's going to do your taxes. That is very personal. It's emotional. It's a problem that they could actually be having, and it's going to speak to them. So what I want you to get from this is, you need to be specific with who you're marketing to, and you need to come up with an ideal client. So at my issue with H&R Block was obviously that I did not have the marketing experience that I needed to absolutely crush it. So if I would have just put those two things together, the social media, and I knew what types of clients that were going to be recurring clients, if I would have just put those two together and created content and marketed just towards them, I would have slayed it, absolutely. So this is something that a lot of business owners kind of struggle with in the beginning, and I know I did as well. Whenever I even started up my business, was whenever you're coming up with your colors, your logos, what your content's going to be about, you're picking things that you like, or that you think look good, or, oh, I would click on that title, so other people will as well. But you need to take yourself out of the situation and then be marketing only towards that ideal client, and get really specific. What types of types of pinpoints and blog posts could you be creating for them? Or if you're creating content, how does your ideal client even consume content? Is it an empty nester who has a whole bunch of time on her hands and she loves to read? So maybe you should be blogging and not, or maybe it's someone, a mom who works full time and has no time to actually read or watch video, but she drives and commutes to work for an hour each day. You should be podcasting because that's how she consumes her content. All right, so that is my discussion for the day. Ideal client, you need to get specific. Do not market to if you market to everyone, you are marketing to no one. I was going to have a Q&A if anyone wants to ask any questions. Could you give automotive specific ideas for journalists? The Performance Chronicle. Nice to meet you too, Jamal. Could you give... Okay, so you're a journalist that is targeting automotive specific. So you're a journalist that wants to target automotive, or you just do you want to like blog and write stuff about cars? Is that what you're saying? You want to do car reviews. Okay, so who are you writing these reviews for? Are you writing them for new, or I would pick one person that you're writing them for. So are you writing them for new teenagers that are about to try and convince their parents to buy them a car? Are you writing them to the parents that are about to buy their teenager a car? Are you writing them to a 50-year-old, or I guess maybe not 50-year-old who doesn't have kids anymore? The Hooniverse online magazine. Cool. But that's what I would do first. Or maybe a retired man that is going to buy a specialty car. Find out who you're writing it for, and then figure out, and then you can decide what they would actually want to read and how they would want to read it. So if it is a retired man, then you could aim it more towards the specialty. I don't really know much about cars, so an actual title is going to be very difficult for me to come up with. One example. Okay, so say you're aiming it towards the 40-year-old who is buying their 16-year-old daughter her first car, and you want him to read your reviews. You would write a title, and you would write this article and say something like the 5 safest cars on the market, or something like that, because he wants something safe for his daughter to drive. Something like, if you get the idea about that. And hear a little bit about my story at H&R Block. It was a fun period of my life. If I could go back and I had the marketing brain I do now, I'd probably still be there. So this is the New Age podcast, where we learn how to take our businesses to the next level by getting ahead in marketing. I'm Haley Hall. You can follow me everywhere at HaleyFace on Instagram with 2 Y's, and at HaleyFace on Twitter, Snapchat, and you can also find me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. See y'all later.